Thank you very much for staying with us. My name is Martin Esiedu. That is the details of our stories now. And the big one certainly has to do with issues relating to the Anas expose. The video was shown yesterday and thousands turned up for both shows. And today there will be a continuation, still 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. at the International Conference Center. And yesterday's showing, former Commissioner of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Francis Emil Short, has called for extensive consultation in the appointment of judges and magistrates. He was speaking after watching the much-anticipated premiere of the video of alleged corruption in the judiciary investigated by Anas, Arimea Anas. Let's listen exactly to him and others who were there to watch as well.
We need to look very deeply into how we recruit magistrates and judges to get on the bench. We need to do a serious examination of the criteria that we use magistrates and judges onto the bench.
But I think it's a matter of record that people become corrupt not only because of need, but often because of greed. So it's not because somebody is very poorly paid necessarily that they become corrupt, but often because they are just interested in having more than the government or the people of Ghana have chosen to pay them.
But I think that there are some of them that may not be sustainable in court. Because the difference between a gift and a bribe is a very thin one. And you must be able to determine whether that gift influences the other person to take a decision. But don't get me wrong, the taking of the money may be reprehensible, but as to whether it amounts to a criminal offense is another matter.
And I'm quite shocked. But at the same time, the truth is we know some of the judges who do these things, and so we are not too surprised. But we'll wait for the law to take its course.
I was just sad watching it. Very sad. There's such people who've taken those bribes and one thing. I was sad. Ghana is such a beautiful country. We've all the resources. All that God has given to us. And yet we can stoop so low because of money. All because of money. Why?
I'm flabbergasted by the depth of corruption, by the instances and how easy it was, and what little sums of money were changing hands. I think that is what shocked me more than anything else.
So those were some of the reactions from the International Conference Center yesterday when the premiering was done. Quite a number of people expressed shock and surprise. And one of our reporters who covered that particular one for us is Komla Kluche. He has joined us in studio to tell us exactly how the mood was like during the premiering and after, when he was talking to some of these men and women who gathered at the conference center to watch. And also we'll be telling you about the latest suits that Justice Derry has filed against the International Conference Center and local television station UTV. Komla, good afternoon and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon to you.
To start with, how was, right from when you got to the conference center up until the start of the premiering, what was the mood like? What were the expectations of people who had come there?
Well, prior to the 4 p.m. that was scheduled for the movie to be shown, we went there somewhere around 2:30, 3 p.m., hoping that we would see a lot of people in queue. But as of that time, we didn't see anybody. So we were like, okay, maybe the talk in town that there's a new suit and all of that. The conference center was not going to play host to it. And then the main hall, the main auditorium was also locked. Then we left. Then around 3:30 p.m., we had to go back again. That was where we saw the huge crowd of people who came there purposely to watch. When you're talking about the mood of the people, Martin, I can tell you that it was mixed. Mixed in the sense that, well, people expected to see these things. They've read it on social media. They have watched bits of it in the trailer that was around on YouTube, and then the series of the stories that were serialized in some of the newspapers. So people were not too shocked, but the shock actually came when it got to a point, or the point where money was exchanged or hands being exchanged with money here and there. So when he gets to that part, then the whole hall would just run and go, hey, everybody was shouting. So and most of those shots actually came in the beginning, the first 1 hour of the whole 3 hour. You find most of them in there. At a point in time, I must say that it was a bit boring in the sense, I mean, you would have to understand how this whole thing is done. I mean, it's an investigative piece, so you will not get the short as compared to how we watch blockbuster movies and all of that. So yes, it was a bit boring, but the substance of it was what people saw as money changing hands, how goats and yam and all of that,
we're
to the extent that
for justice.
Absolutely, to the extent that that issue of the sex scandal also came in, and everything was shown that there wasn't anything that was hidden here and there. No.
Okay, let's come to today's suit. We are told that Justice Derry, in consultation with his lawyers, have gone now to the highest court of the land to seek some reliefs or place new suits against a number of institutions, one of which is the Conference Center and also UTV. What can you tell us about it? Well,
let me first talk about the Conference Center one. That's the suit we have obtained from his lawyers now, and the people who have been sued is the Conference Center, his Lordship Justice Paul Arthur Derry, who is a plaintiff, then Tiger Eye PI, the Honorable Chief Justice, Attorney General, and then it's two Tiger Eye PI, the Chief Justice and the AG, and then he's seeking a number of reliefs, saying that after he had gone to court, filed an interlocutory injunction and served notice on the Conference Center not to go ahead and show the movie, they defied it and still went ahead. So he's going to the Supreme Court to render the whole video or the whole thing that the NAS has done as null and void, and possibly also cite him and then the Conference Center for contempt, because he had indicated that he had gone to court saying that the matter is sub judice, so there shouldn't be any public viewing to that effect. The second one talks about that is Justice Arthur Derry. This one is at a fast track high court. He is seeking that the manager for the Conference Center, Mr. Kofi Appiah, and then the station manager for UTV, and this is an ex-party suit that he has filed, indicating that when the matter is sub judice and then a notice of some injunction has been served on the Conference Center and other parties involved, UTV went in and showed some aspect of the movie. Mind you, yesterday at the Conference Center, the media had opportunity to record for 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes.
Just up to 10 minutes. It was just 10 minutes, and they told us to either move out or switch off
the camera.
But we all took some shots though. But from what he is saying, he's saying that for UTV to have gone ahead and then showed except of it, he is citing them for contempt, and then he is seeking some reliefs as well in at a fast track high court, and the reliefs are 18. I mean, it tells you that Justice Derry is in for a fight back, and let me just read about two of them. That's from 12. The 12th one, that even after receiving the letter dated on the 15th of September, the second respondent on the 22nd of September at around 10 p.m. aired content of the audio-visual recording on its television station, United television, that the respondent have acknowledged of the pendency of my actions before the court, that the respondent's conduct is calculated to bring the authority and administration of the law into disrespect and disregard to interfere with the cause of justice. Derry is so bent on making sure that the legalities involved in this, he explores it to the full hall. I think one person that has extensive knowledge when it comes to issues of legalese and the law is lawyer Yao Opong. He's joined us on the line to give us his position on the airing and then also the results aftermath of that airing. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Have you seen the video yourself?
How did I?
Have you seen the video?
Yes, I watched it yesterday.
Great. And what are your initial thoughts on it?
Oh, well, my initial thoughts are the same as my earlier thoughts before I watched it. And that is that I think the pictures or the video confirmed what we had heard from the appropriate sources in the print media and so on. So I think it was an affirmation of what we had heard in the media, and that is what I saw.
Right. Now, from what you saw, do you think that it can be tendered in as evidence and it would carry as much weight, for which reason a prima facie case can be said to have been established?
Well, that decision signed to the Chief Justice, and since I'm not yet appointed by law to exercise that function, if you may permit me, I will leave that judgment to myself until the Chief Justice has performed her functions, and then we can subject it to serious legal scrutiny.
And of the about 3-hour video you watch, is it every part that is as equally implicating as we are being told?
Well, you are asking me to give a judgment which, if you may permit me, I may not be able to do so now, because the matter is before a constitutionally mandated body to perform that function. But I would say that what we saw still remains, in my view, an allegation. We need to give the opportunity to the people named or seen in the video to be given the opportunity to be heard in a fair trial or fair hearing process. Appropriate decisions are given, appropriate remedies, legal remedies are applied, and then when the decision is finally given, after all the remedies are exhausted, then we will also be able to give our judgment on it.
Okay, my final question would be, and if you kindly help us put this in perspective, now that it's been made public, do you think that it would affect in any way, shape or form the committee's position on, or would it be, influence their decision in any way?
Well, judges or the committee members are eminent persons, and I believe they would have taken an oath, or they are aware of the consequences of their decision, and so they are not expected to take into consideration the personalities involved, nor the sensitive nature of the case, that is, if it's indeed sensitive. And there is enough authority to the effect that when a case is placed before you as a judge or a finder of facts or any adjudicating body, you are not supposed to take into consideration public sentiment, emotions, nor are you supposed to take into consideration your own belief or even understanding of what people are saying. Right. Yours is to apply the law to the facts and do so according to your conscience and the oath you have taken.
Okay. We are grateful for your time, Yao Opong. He is a lawyer and a law lecturer at the Central University and was giving us his position after watching the video which was premiered yesterday. Komala, in conclusion and very briefly, when is it likely that these new suits are hearing is going to start? Has it been served to the persons or the accused persons?
Well, I only know that they have filed it in court. I cannot confirm whether they have been served onto the respondents or not. But I know there's a pending case that will be heard on the 30th of October. Then the one that the judges are challenging the legality of the 5-member committee, that will be heard on Friday. But just to wrap up, Martin, Justice Jerry is saying that that's the 17th and then the 18th, when that the respondent's conduct is in bad faith, is malicious, and is prejudicial to the determination of the case before the court. And in the circumstances, he is praying that this obvious disregard to the court amounts to nothing more than contempt of the court, which the respondent ought to be convicted and punished. Very strong words there. He's seeking conviction of the persons. That's Mr. Kofi Appiah and then the UTV station manager.
Okay. Thank you.